matches go.
We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Boxing Ego Unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder says, don't worry. He's going to reopen Tyson Fury's cuts when they rematch in February. We unpack, coming to you live. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Now, Deontay Wilder has done some... We're going to jump right into it. We unpacked. This is my series where I really give you guys my deep thoughts. You know, I really want to give you some introspective thoughts. Really take the time, whatever. I don't time these videos, but, you know, I just go as long as needed to get the point across and, you know, really dive deep into some of these subject matters. So I hope you guys enjoy it. A lot of you guys have reached out, said the song stuck in your head. Let's get it. ESPN did an interview. Wilder's been doing some interviews. Tyson Fury just fought. He was the one that was brought in to save Mexican Independence Day weekend. Canelo usually fights that weekend. Before it was Floyd Mayweather and so forth. And Canelo, he's fighting Kovalev now, but they couldn't, Golden Boy for whatever reason, didn't line up his fight. So it was Tyson Fury versus OTTO WALLIN. Now, in that fight, Tyson Fury looked extremely vulnerable. He got two nasty cuts, at least two nasty cuts over his eye, and it wasn't his strongest performance. In my opinion, this was a bad look, which we'll get to on the back half, because this is an unpacked video where I really, you know, pull it apart and dissect the subject matter. But it just wasn't a good look, especially heading into a dangerous fight with Deontay Wilder. Wilder himself has one more task to complete, and that's Luis Ortiz. He's already beaten him by stoppage, but he has to do it again. And if all goes well with that, he's supposed to be fighting Fury. Now, Fury's team has said publicly that if Fury's not 100% healed, they're willing to not fight in February. And this is a bad look because Wilder himself said he wanted to fight the winner of Joshua Ruiz, and he thinks that Tyson Fury should step aside. This was before the OTTO WALLIN fight. And Tyson Fury says, nope, a contract is a contract. I'm fighting you in February. If you get past Luis Ortiz, we have a signed contract. And if you try to break that, then I will sue you. My team will sue your team. Now he had a shaky performance. And guess what? His team, Frank Warren, his promoter, one of his promoters, because now he has multiple promoters, are saying that he has to be ready before they send him in. Bob Arum, you know, to his credit, he has said that Tyson Fury should be good by then. But Frank Warren, you know, he didn't sound as optimistic. He just basically said if he feels Tyson Fury is not medically recovered by that time, then the fight's not going to happen. And it's going to, mark my words, if Tyson Fury does not, if Wilder gets past Luis Ortiz and Tyson Fury does not fight against Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder in February, he is going to look extremely bad. He already fled from the immediate rematch. They fought in December on Showtime, right? And BT Sport back in the UK, where Tyson Fury is from. They had the opportunity to go straight into a rematch, but we know why they didn't. Again, if you have the complexion for the protection, it appears these companies, they are trying to, you know, build Fury, and they want him to be one of the big faces and larger than life and stuff. So they wanted him to basically gain all of his bearings back. And since he was in such a intense scare from at the hands of Deontay Wilder, especially in that 12th round in the first fight, they want to make sure he's adequate. But in doing that, they messed up because they put him in another war unintentionally, sleeping on the guy, OTTO WALLIN, thinking he wasn't going to be much of a challenge. And he came to fight, and he wasn't there to lay down. And that made it even worse, because if you lose to Deontay Wilder, he's a champion. He's the biggest knockout puncher that we've seen in a while. He's the strongest guy in boxing, in my opinion. Single shot power. One punch, he can lose a fight. He could be getting outboxed by Gerald Washington and be losing rounds. You know, Spilka could be doing all right. One punch, it could be good night. So Wilder is the strongest puncher in boxing, in my opinion. And losing to him or getting knocked out, or it's not that shocking. But when you have a guy who's a 50-1 underdog that no one's heard of, that has never fought in more than one 12-rounder, and he's taking you 12 rounds and hurting you in the 12th round, then it becomes something different because you're looking this way against the underdog. Make sure you smash the like button. Link in the description. Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. He did an interview, a couple of interviews, and we're going to talk about some quotes. He did one with ESPN. The title says, Wilder says cuts should have stopped the Fury fight, but he's happy it didn't, by Dan Rayfield. As heavyweight world title holder, Deontay Wilder watched the blood pour from cuts over Tyson Fury's right eye Saturday night, courtesy of an OTTO violin left hook. He thought about two stoppages. One was in the ring, as Wilder thought Fury was about to fall victim to a massive upset. A stoppage due to cuts, where it was the result of punches, would have been a victory for the unheralded WALLIN. The other stoppage would have happened later, as Wilder's highly anticipated rematch, Fury, penciled in for February 22nd in Vegas, would have been canceled. You know, they both had to come through their scheduled fights. But Tyson Fury was allowed to continue and scored a unanimous decision victory. Wilder says, quote, "Of course I am happy that Tyson Fury got the win. Then if he didn't, because that would have messed up our plans if he lost big time. As soon as he saw the cut, Wilder, his co-manager Al Haymon, later spoke to co-manager Shelly Finkel to voice his concerns. Quote, I call Al Haymon first and I'm like, they're going to stop this fight. Fury fucked up. They're going to stop this fight, Wilder told ESPN on Wednesday. The gash looked like it was 3 inches long and 2 inches wide. It was crazy. Al wasn't watching it. He was asking what was going on, and I'm like, Al, this cut is bad. I ain't never seen one like this. This cut was long and wide. Then it became 2 cuts, and it became even worse. When I was talking to Al, I was like, this shit is bad. They're going to stop this. Wilder 41-0, 40 knockouts. Fury 29-0-1. Have already signed a 2-fight deal for a rematch and a 3rd fight with a sequel from their draw last December, penciled in February 22nd pay-per-view, right, in Vegas. Wilder said he was ready for whatever happened, even if it meant a Fury loss and the rematch going down the drain. Quote, I wasn't on pins and needles because it ain't my career. It ain't me. Things happen in boxing. Things ain't final until they happen. But a Fury loss, it would have changed the whole dynamic of the situation, just like when Andy Ruiz Jr. beat Anthony Joshua, and it changed the course of the heavyweight division. He says, I don't know if they re-put this, so I'm going to just read it. See, that fight with Otto Wallin, that was supposed to be stopped. Everybody knows that. But of course, they don't want this man to lose because of me. They want the big fight. We understand that. People are not dumb. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with the course being changed. So be it. Let's go to another course. Let's go to another plan. That's just part of boxing. That's why I love it. Boxing changes up so much. You just never know until you know. Nothing is guaranteed. Finkel said Wilder was calm when they spoke, even with the fight potentially about to be stopped. Quote, Deontay seemed concerned, of course, but he was accepting that this is boxing if it's stopped, Finkel said. It wasn't like, oh my God, what am I going to do if this happens and Fury loses? We'll go another way and we'll have to figure it out. Fury pulled out a unanimous decision win, but Wilder was not impressed by his performance. Wilder also believes that the fight shouldn't have gone 12 rounds. Quote, see, the fight with Wallin was supposed to be stopped. Everybody knows that, but of course they don't want this man to lose because of me. They want the big fight. We understand that. People are not dumb. If you know you have a 3-inch long fucking cut like that, it's 2 inches wide. He was like Two-Face from Batman. Wilder's a fool, bro. He said he was like Two-Face, one side blood and one side sweat. They were supposed to stop that shit, and Wallin would have won. Wilder said Wallin's success was partly because Wilder had softened Fury up. He said Otto Wallin was doing a great job, and his corner gave him some great instructions because he had Fury tired. He was going to the body, and he seen the cut and started executing on that cut. He was doing some dirty tactics. One time he tried to grab his eyeball and snatch it out of him. He made me smile when he tried to grab his eyeball and pull it. I'm sorry. Wilder is really country, so sometimes getting through this, you know. First he called the man Two-Face from Batman. Harvey Dent. You know, that was funny. Now he's hold on, let's get back to it. Okay. He said Otto Wallen. We Unpacked. This is all off the cuff, bro. We Unpacked, coming to you live. Smash the like button. He said Otto Wallen was doing some dirty tactics. One time he tried to grab his eyeball and snatch it out of him. He made me smile when he tried to grab his eyeball and pull it out of the socket. It's not registering. Something's wrong with Wilder, bro. He said his smile when Otto Wallen tried to say Shang Tsung Tyson Fury's eyeball. Fury was executing everything perfectly in the beginning, but when Wallen hit him with that left hook, that was the game changer. Wallen should have executed a little bit more and would have gotten Fury out of there. When Wilder and Fury met December 1st, he outboxed Wilder for long stretches. Man, that shit overrated. This is that Dan Rayfield shit right now. That shit cap. You know, he bought long stretches. Bro, Wilder missed. Tyson Fury outboxed. Tyson Fury didn't really even do shit the first 4 rounds, to be honest. He was faint. You know, he wasn't really doing what y'all acting like. Man, come on. Old media shit. Fury outboxed Wilder for long stretches, but Wilder scored 2 knockdowns, one in the 9th and a huge one in the 12th. Fury somehow survived. Fight split draw. Wilder winning 115-111, Fury 114-112. Third judge had it a draw. Wilder said after such a tough fight against him in December, followed by gruesome cuts against Wallen, Fury is in big trouble when they meet again. There's nothing Fury will be able to do. Fury looked his best when he fought me, and that's the best you will ever see of him. He better be ready, but the way I hit, I'm going to cut the eye back open, period. No matter what they do, he could have plastic surgery, whatever. I'm going to cut that back open, period. It's over with. I got Fury's number. That's why the dude didn't take the rematch immediately. He knows. Wilder's 33 of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. He has 9 defenses, and a news conference to announce is being planned for Los Angeles right before Spence, Porter, etc. Wilder said he has no concerns having another interim fight before the big one. Fury, Wilder plans to get rid of Ortiz early in their rematch. Anything can happen, but I've been in there with Ortiz before, and I went life or death with him. But I had the flu during that time. I was very ill. No one knows this but my team. I heard about this, and I told you guys that. I was spitting out mucus, walking out to the ring. I was very ill. I only had a few weeks to train for him. I was too sick to train. I had a baby at the time. There was a lot of shit going on in my life, but I still handle business. I don't play around with these guys. It's fun. It's not fun and games for me. It's a very serious situation. I must handle accordingly, and I do. I don't make excuses, but I was very ill, and I was able to do what I did with him then. Now I'm super strong. I'm at my all-time best. I'm ready to go now. But it said by me already knowing him is going to make it even easier. I'm getting him out of there. Expect to see a first-round knockout. Ooh, okay. Now, before I get into some of my thoughts, Wilder did one with the Boxing Voice. Shout out to them. Link in the description for this stuff. Wilder said to the Boxing Voice, he said some of the same stuff. He's very vulnerable. Tyson Fury, when he gets hit on the chin, it's a wrap. Otto Wallen was doing a great job up to that point, especially when he had to cut him over the eye. I thought it was going to get a stoppage. It looked like it was 3 inches wide, 2 inches deep. That's the worst cut besides the Vitaly Klitschko-Lennox Lewis fight. That was the worst cut I've seen in my life. I can't wait. I hope they heal well, and I can't wait to see Mr. Fury. It's not my problem if Tyson Fury is ready or not. He signed the contract. That's his problem. He better get ready. No matter what he does, when he fights me, the cut is going to open right back up. I'm going to pop it right back open. He could get plastic surgery, duct tape or staples, super glue or hot glue, cement glue, shit. He could go get some of that flex glue. It ain't even gonna matter. This is Bomb Squad Wilder. This is the Bronze Bomber talking, because he be talking crazy when he get in that mode. Listen, we Unpacked, coming to you live. Old media is fucking trash and fucking dead. I've been telling you guys the same thing over and over and over again. All of a sudden, the sports bets and the bookies now are shifting towards Wilder, right? When I picked Wilder the first fight, when I picked Wilder the second fight, they say, oh, you're just in love with Wilder. Oh, you're a PBC fanboy, all this stuff. Now look at you. Now everyone is jumping to the side because of what Tyson Fury looked like. Now you have people, educated people, fighters, great commentator like Paulie Malignaggi saying virtually the same thing that I've been telling you. Paulie Malignaggi did a recent interview. He said Tyson Fury is consistently inconsistent, meaning he'll have a good performance against someone good, and you're like, wow, damn, look at the Klitschko fight, or he was boxing well versus Wilder, and then he'll fight to stoop to a guy's level. Man, we've seen it. Tyson Fury is also inconsistent with his weight. I think Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder has his number, just like he's saying. Tyson Fury, they're trying to, Top Rank has, especially with Bob Arum. Bob Arum has been in the game so long. He knows these little nuanced things to say to the media to rile them up and, create a spin and get a story going. And you have to be very keen to not fall victim to that. Since ESPN and Top Rank joined forces with Top Rank, since they joined forces with Tyson Fury, they've been spinning this narrative. They had no real reason to not do an immediate rematch with Deontay Wilder, other than the reason that I told you that we all knew. He did not want those problems. They wanted to, they illustrated it and said it as if they wanted to build up the fight. This fucking fight, you don't have to, if the first fight was good, you don't have to build anything up. So you're not going to, I've been watching boxing far too long. The first fight was a classic. The first fight had action, drama, boxing, hardcore power, great ring entrance by Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, climactic 12th round drama, fucking Undertaker shit, It had what you needed. You don't have to build anything up. The first fights, the quality of the first fight builds everything and ushers you in. Plus, Top Rank, they use this fake storyline because that wasn't the real reason. A lot of times people, it's like smoke screens. The Top Rank is going to say that they're trying to build up Tyson Fury's U.S. brand. He built up his U.S. brand by the performance he gave, by, the press tour in the first fight, and, having a solid performance where he made Wilder miss in spots, things like that. You don't really have to do anything else. It's just like a good piece of steak. When I first started grilling and like cooking and like, being on my own, and like learning how to got a grill in the apartment, I used to like try to put all this paprika and season all and pepper and salt and garlic powder. And then I realized if you get a good cut of steak, it's not even much you have to do. You put a little bit of Himalayan salt, sea salt, kosher salt, a little bit of pepper, and maybe some, whatever else, lemon or something, or like garlic cloves or something, grill some onion. That's it. You don't really have to do much. Like a great piece of steak is a great piece of steak. And Wilder versus Fury was a fun fight for everyone. So Tyson Fury and his new team with Top Rank and them, they used the deflection tactic. We know why Tyson Fury didn't take the immediate rematch. He was almost out of there in the 12th round. Listen, the bottom line is this, and I feel like I'm the only one that's really brought this to the forefront, this particular point. That's why I love this series Unpacked, so I can talk to you guys about this stuff in detail. People keep marveling about how Tyson Fury jumped up like the Undertaker and got up and, was even fighting back in the 12th round, which is cool. That's great. That was some movie shit, very cinematic. However, what they're sleeping on is this simple fact. The cranium, the head, is not meant for blunt force trauma. You are not meant to get punched in the head repeatedly with velocity and force and anything. That's why you hear about so-and-so got robbed and hit in the head with a crowbar or bat and died, because your brain shifts. You could crack your skull. It's not meant for all that. Wilder has God-given power. So while people are celebrating the heroics of Tyson Fury getting up and how crazy it was, he took a lot of damage in that 12th round. There's no getting around that. He took a lot of damage, and the reality is this. Yeah, he got back up, but that doesn't mean he got up and he was unfazed by it. You get what I'm saying? I don't know how he got up. It was crazy, but you still have to treat it like a knockout. The man admitted he was asleep for 4 or 5 seconds and woke up to see Jack Reese in front of him. He didn't know how he got on the ground, and he realized, like, oh man, I must have got knocked down. So I told myself, I don't know what happened, but I told myself I'm gonna get up. So you have to treat that like a knockout, despite him getting up. What I mean by treat it like a knockout is the difference between that being ruled a knockdown or a knockout and what happened and it going to a split decision was Jack Reese's discretion. Any referee in the world, just like the Tyson Fury cut, if someone stopped the Tyson, if a ref stopped the Tyson Fury Otto Wallin on cuts, we know why they didn't, just what Wilder's saying, because there's a lot of money tied up in 2 and 3 Wilder fights. So they didn't want to do that, right? But that would have been okay to stop. Terrence Crawford himself tweeted that the night of the fight. I think he was live there. He's like, these cuts are bad. Anyone else that would have been stopped. We know. The reason they didn't stop it is because they want to give Tyson Fury the benefit of the doubt, because there was a lot of money tied up in this future fight, and everyone associated, from the referees to the doctors, they have to know that this is highly publicized, that Tyson Fury had one more fight. Wilder had one more fight with Luis Ortiz. Boom, they're going to fight in February. But the reality is you still got to treat it like a knockout, because he really went through the process of being conscious and, fainting and boxing to being on the ground, unconscious, and then having to wake back up. So this is exactly why Top Rank put him in there light with Tom Schwartz, a guy no one's heard of. And their justification was that he happened to be ranked. But listen, a lot of people don't follow rankings like that. You get what I'm saying? So we don't know if Top Rank went out and it just paid the WBO to put him in, like, oh, here's 20,000. Can you update your rankings? We need someone for Tyson Fury. We don't know. I wouldn't put it past stuff like that to happen. Or if there's already existing rankings, you look for the unknown, unheralded guy and then try to build this backstory. Like, oh, he's 6'6", he's undefeated, he's ranked in 2 sanctioning bodies. That's all you have to do. All you have to do is, I could look at the rankings right now for the IBF, WBC, WBO, etc., right? And see who's ranked in the top 10, and then go to BoxRec and look at each individual person, take the names that I don't know, and see if any of them are undefeated or tall for the division, and then write down some notes, reach out to their people, because most of the time there's a lot of people that are ranked that have real small promotions and you haven't heard of them for a reason, because they're not really big. So that's the justification. And the old school way of promoting boxing, that shit is a dub. Nobody believes that anymore. We know what's a good fight and we know what's a dud, period. Tom Schwartz, that shit was trash. And more often than not, these fights play out how they're supposed to, more often than not. If you have somebody who's at an elite level, Tyson Fury is screaming lineal champ, but he's not fighting championship caliber names. Yes, Otto Wallin turned out to be better, but I really don't know how far along Otto Wallin is versus the stylistic matchup. Because if Otto Wallin fought Wilder, I don't think it would have went 12 rounds. And I don't think Wilder would have been in trouble and things like that. I think Wilder would have tried to get some respect early, guy inch shorter than him. And I think Otto Wallin would have tensed up and been very gun shy when he felt Wilder's power. And then, that's great for a predator style guy like Wilder, who knows when his opponent fears him or whatever. So I don't really know that anyone else would have had the type of fight that Tyson Fury had, this life and death, tooth and nail fight with the Otto Wallin. I think that's pretty specific to Tyson Fury. Same thing with Joshua. Joshua's a power puncher and he's a boxer puncher. So I don't think Otto Wallin, I think he was too inexperienced. I don't think that he would have, Joshua, he has a lot of power, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think he would have had the same problems, especially round 7 to 10 when Otto Wallin was completely tapped out, didn't have his second wind, was drained and exasperated, had no real energy, wasn't really throwing meaningful punches with steam on them. You can't get hit by guys like Wilder, Daniel Dubois, Joshua, some of the bigger punchers, Luis Ortiz, and get hit that early and often, you know what I'm saying, in those rounds. But since Tyson Fury is not necessarily known as the most heavy-handed heavyweight, Otto Wallin was able to survive. So that's that. But we know why Top Rank put him in there. They thought both of those were going to be tune-up style fights, but they inadvertently set Tyson Fury up for failure. That was a nasty cut. He ended up getting cut. Now you see Wilder's confidence growing, as I told you. This is before Wilder even did these interviews. I told you all of this. There's no way that, of course, Wilder's going to watch the Tyson Fury fight. That's supposed to be his next opponent should he get past Luis Ortiz. So Wilder was going to tune in. Andy Ruiz is going to tune in and listen to what champions are saying. Ruiz, a unified champion. Wilder, the longest standing champion in boxing, or definitely the longest heavyweight champion that of this moment. And the thing is, they both said similar stuff. He didn't look good. His own pop said he didn't look good. Paulie Malignaggi, everybody's saying that. But most importantly, your peers are saying that. Andy Ruiz took a jab immediately after the fight, said, there's no way Tyson Fury does what he says he was going to do and beats me with one hand tied behind his back looking like that against that guy, And then now you see Wilder, he's like, I got Fury's number. So Top Rank, in their effort to put Tyson Fury in the witness protection program, like Tekashi 6ix9ine, they actually made it way worse because you put him in there with a guy thinking it was a cherry pick and the cherry bit back. And now the cherry pick added additional injury, potential scar tissue. And now you got this madman named Deontay Wilder with all the power, who knows he can hurt Tyson Fury from their first fight. And I do believe Wilder is the one that made it. I think, see, this is what old media is going to do. I've already studied this game. Old media is going to act like Otto Wallin tenderized Tyson Fury. So when Wilder goes in there and knocks out Tyson Fury in the rematch, should he get past Ortiz, like I've been saying, I think Ortiz, and I said this before the Otto Wallin performance, I'm more afraid, or I'm more scared, or whatever you want to say, concerned with Wilder getting past Luis Ortiz than I ever was in the Tyson Fury rematch. Because rematch for rematch, Ortiz hurt Wilder. He said he was sick, and I heard that too, but it don't matter. He got hurt in that fight. You know what I'm saying? So that's a confidence boost for Ortiz. Tyson Fury never really hurt Wilder like that, Definitely didn't look like he had him on his way to go, So in their effort to protect Tyson Fury and then, cherry pick their way and keep him in a position of, the path of least resistance, so he didn't get miles put on. He got a lot of miles put on him in that particular fight. And people see, what happened to all the, where was Tyson Fury when Otto Wallin was coming with it and jabbing to the body and Tyson Fury looked tired? Where was all that showmanship? This is what ESPN has been saying. Tim Baldhead Bradley said that Tyson Fury is the Terrence Crawford of the division. That's disrespectful to Terrence Crawford. The two fight nothing alike. Just because Tyson Fury fought a Tom Schwartz and decided to be ambidextrous in that fight, he's not doing that against Otto Wallin. He damn sure didn't do that versus Deontay Wilder. So what are we really and truly talking about? You're disrespecting Terrence Crawford like ESPN does. And Terrence Crawford, no matter who he's fighting, he switches stances. It don't matter if you're bigger, smaller, Jeff Horn, Jose Benavidez, gold medalist, Gamboa, Felix Diaz. Bro, he don't care. John Molina, power punch. He's switching on all these guys. Tyson Fury ain't doing that. Tyson Fury ain't switching if he's in there with Deontay Wilder. And then, again, where was Tyson Fury playing around, putting his hands behind his back and sticking his tongue out and all that? Where was that in the Otto Wallin fight? So, all in all, I think if Wilder gets past Ortiz, especially if he does it and minimizes the punishment that he takes, if he does it, he says, I want to get a first round knockout. If he does anything like that, is even worse. The quicker or the easier Wilder gets Luis Ortiz out of there, the worse it becomes for Fury. Because Wilder, like I've been saying, his confidence is going to keep going up on a Tuesday. And Tyson Fury, there's no way he could be highly confident based on his last performance, And they say lightning rarely strikes in the same spot twice. You're not going to just keep fighting a power puncher like Wilder and have him release them them bogeys and missiles and shit, and you just keep getting back up from them. So Tyson Fury, he did what he did. It was divine intervention or whatever, but that's not going to keep happening. Now he knows about the cut. Top Rank and Frank Warren and Bob Arum, they did the foolish thing. They should have just pursued the immediate rematch, made the best man win. Now you give Wilder a chance to get more confident. He's already confident from destroying Brazil. That was a bad blood, you know, Oscar De La Hoya, Fernando Vargas type of personal grudge that they had, and Wilder annihilated him. Brazil, I don't even know where Brazil's at since that fight. You get what I'm saying? But they had that little issue in the hallway. His confidence rose from that. He went viral from that, and he started to bubble even more from that because he keeps getting these knockouts. You know, he went on CBS. They posted his knockout on Twitter. It had over 10 million views in a couple of days, bro. So Wilder's just going up, like his celebrity's going up. You got people like Loaded Lux making a Till This Day song referencing him and looping his ad lib about the To This Day. So if he gets past Luis Ortiz and sews that up, it's a wrap. I don't see Tyson Fury. I already didn't think Tyson Fury would beat Wilder in a rematch, especially just everything's against him. The fact that you ran from the rematch and needed tune-ups, that gave Wilder confidence. The OTTO WALLIN performance, the fact that he got cut, it's not looking good. And there, you know, Jack Reese ain't gonna be able to save Tyson Fury this time. I really feel that way. Plus, Wilder admits what I already told you guys, that he was sick in the first fight. You can say he's making excuses. He don't have to. He retained his title and it's a draw. You don't really have to make an excuse when you get to keep what you came in the ring with. You know, he doesn't have a loss from the fight, despite you know, in the bullshit fans saying Tyson Fury won 10 rounds to 2. I already went over this time and time again. New media is destroying y'all digital mob. Y'all know what it is, bro. If Tyson Fury really believes that he destroyed Wilder and won a landslide, 10-2 is a landslide. As far where I'm from, that's a landslide victory. In a 12-round fight, if you can win 10 rounds out of 12, then you the man, you know, especially in the heavyweight division. But they know that's bullshit, you know. So where are all the 10-round to 2 people? Disappearing. It's not a good look, man. So I think Wilder, especially with him being sick in the first fight, he has so much like room to improve slightly. Like, look, he was, you know, it's just he can improve on the Luis Ortiz. He was sick in that fight, and then he kind of kept the trend of kind of coming in light versus Tyson Fury. But he did that. He felt like he rushed his work. OTTO WALLIN had a good game plan. You can just watch that. Your whole team can build a strategy and watch Tyson Fury's most recent performance to see what they could pick up and pick out from that. Plus watch the first fight and what you did and what you learned. Man, come on, bro. So, yeah, it's just looking grim for old media. Like I've been telling y'all didn't want to believe it. Y'all said, oh yeah, you just love PBC and Al Heyman. We're gonna see. You know, y'all better hope Wilder loses. Y'all better hope he loses Luis Ortiz, because y'all said that Joshua was the guy to beat him. Y'all said that Tyson Fury was going to knock out Wilder. Tyson Fury didn't even, in my opinion, ESPN was doing too much. They was making it like he was going to knock out OTTO WALLIN. I didn't really see OTTO WALLIN in that much trouble. I seen OTTO WALLIN's face post-fight. Tyson Fury looked way more fucked up. On God and them, bro. OTTO WALLIN didn't even look bad. He didn't look like Tyson Fury looked like he went through a meat grinder. You know, he had the hamburger face. OTTO WALLIN didn't look like that post-fight. I seen an interview with him. Tyson Fury is the one that looked bad. So, you know, all in all, I think Fury's lackluster performance left a lot to be desired, and it really set a blueprint. Look at this cut. This is nasty. This is a nasty cut. That's deep. And Wilder, he told you, with reckless abandon, he said, I'm going to target that. That's going to open right up. You know they're out there. Look at the man's face. You know, there's only, how many times is someone going to be a warrior? You know, how many times you think your cut man is going to save you? Especially, and OTTO WALLIN hadn't really proven anything. OTTO WALLIN, he did the best he could do given the circumstance. You get what I'm saying? Wilder is a premier finisher. Name a guy he hasn't finished. Bermain Stavern, Fury, you know, and he hurt him in the 12th round. This is just, everything spells trouble. The other thing is, now the truth is coming out. His own team is snitching like Tekashi, and his own trainer came out and said, look, his face looked bad, bro. His own trainer came out and said Tyson Fury basically lost his discipline on fight week and was eating bad. This looks like a bite mark, like on some forensic file shit. This is not good, man. Anyway, his own trainer, Ben Davison, his dad said to drop your current team or you're gonna lose. So there's potential turmoil within the team. See, this is OTTO WALLIN.
I don't want to hear, brother.
Look, he don't even look bad. He got a black eye. Face look relatively clear, you know, versus this is Tyson Fury. Had to get 47 stitches or whatever, you know, it's just whatever. But anyway, Tyson Fury's own trainer, I made a video about it. His own trainer said Tyson Fury abandoned the nutritional plan the week of. So it sounds like Tyson Fury still parties and, you know, still does what he wants to do and those types of things. And at the elite level, it's just hard to maintain that, especially if Wilder's focused, he's controlling his weight. There's never been when has Wilder ever been 360 pounds? You know, if anything, Wilder has to put on weight and try to keep it on. Tyson Fury's been, you know, 360 pounds, almost 400 pounds, and, you know, partied himself and, you know, didn't care about living and, you know, all this stuff, cocaine binge, and he failed a drug test, all that type of stuff. That stuff is going to come back to haunt you, you know, especially if you're still drinking and stuff. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to, you know, be a warrior every fight. You know, I think it takes its toll. If you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing nutritionally, or you get cuts and stuff, you got floored in the Wilder fight. Look at it. In Tyson Fury's last 3 fights, he fought one elite person in Wilder, got knocked down twice, almost knocked out. He did get knocked out, but, you know, he got up to finish the fight, right? Then he fought a scrub in Tom Schwartz that no one thought could even win, beat him in 2 rounds, and then your next fight after that was a war, and you're looking like this. So in 2 of your last 3 fights before the big one, as Tyson Fury says, you've been in hellacious fights, and then now you have potential scar tissue that your opponent just told ESPN in the Boxing Voice that you lucky you didn't get stopped. It's not my problem. Come ready to fight. I'm finna finish you off. That cut looked bad, you know. And then once again, watch old media, see how they just shapeshift and start switching. Ring Magazine, I'm calling everybody out. Ring Magazine, ESPN, all these people, they have Fury #1. They say he's the #1 heavyweight. They don't want to get that black man, Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder, his just due and proper placement. This is what they do. And then now, as we gear up and get close to the fight, let's see what they have to say now. You know, let's see how many people switch. Tyson Fury's own dad said, like, look, Father John Fury launches scathing attack on son's performance against OTTO WALLIN. His own pop said, there's nothing you could say to new media. There's nothing you could say to Wilder and say, oh, you guys are just hating and PBC and all this other dumb shit. His own pops, his bloodline said the same thing. He said, switch your team. That was a horrible performance. Wilder would have beat you on that performance. Ruiz, even Povetkin would have beat you on that performance. So, you know, the proof is in the pudding. Can't wait to see what unfolds. We Unpacked coming to you live. Holla at the boy. If you like what I'm doing, consider subscribing, donate, hit the like button, all that good stuff. We working. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.